What is up, everybody? This is Recap Rewind. I'm J-Lag.
And I'm NB. In preparation for Season 4 Riverdale, we are releasing another exclusive interview with Mark Consuelos, where we talked about his thoughts on the Season 3 finale and the coming season.
Listen as we chat about Hiram's steam room conversations, which cast member helped the cast through the loss of Luke Perry, and much more. Enjoy the episode.
I think they did a great job with sort of wrapping everything up.
Yeah, for sure.
I agree.
What did you think of the season?
The season was, God, I mean, when I think back on the season, it felt like three different seasons. I was thinking, wait a minute, my son was playing a young Hiram this season? That seems like a year ago.
That's so true.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know, and Kelly came on the show, and that seems like about, so long ago. And it was long ago. It was like November, October, something like that, right?
Yeah.
And then so many other things happened, both on the show and both, as you guys know, off the show.
Course, yeah.
So it felt like a really, really just a bizarre, long, not negative, for, working on the show, but, obviously some of the things that happened were horrible, but with Luke's passing.
Yeah.
But it just, when I look back on it, gosh, so much happened.
So much happened.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
So much happened.
It was it was like they did bite off a lot this season, I will say. I feel like there were so many storylines running at the same time, and I was really interested to see how they were going to bring it all together at the end of it all. But I think they wrapped it up really well. Yeah. I think that they got a lot out of the way, and then they moved you into a really cool, fresh feel for season 4.
Yeah, I agree. No, I agree. And what about that cliffhanger?
Oh my God.
I mean,
crazy.
That was probably one of the best things that I've seen on the show
Yeah.
so far. A flash forward is not something that I expected from
I think so
Riverdale.
many shows are doing that now. They're playing with time.
Yeah.
And just to see Riverdale do it, and I think they're gonna do it right. I can't wait. I think it's gonna be really good.
Yeah.
I remember reading the finale, the episode before we shot it, and just remembering how good it was, and being just on the edge of my seat while I was reading it. And let's face it, whenever you have Nana,
It's true. Nana Blossom.
it's like it's going to be good. It's going to be great. They did wrap everything up. The quests or the challenges were wow. They were so great.
Yeah.
And then that ending, it just has so many possibilities.
Oh, for sure.
It's just what does that mean? Obviously something or someone or multiple people died.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah,
There's blood everywhere.
Exactly.
Either that or they hit a deer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think someone said maybe they killed Penny Peabody. I was like, I don't think anyone cares about Penny at this point. But
situation,
All I do know is that we're gonna try to figure it out between now and they actually tell us what happened, and we'll all be wrong.
yeah, right. Kelly's on the case. I heard that she's pretty good at trying to figure out the culprits.
Yes, yeah. But I was really impressed. Look, in execution, when I was reading the finale, I was like, wow, in execution, this is going to be fantastic.
For sure.
And the director, Rachel Tlay, that they have, we always have really, really great directors, but she's one of my faves. She's so good, and the execution, the crew really executed it, because those were tough shoots. You just think about all the night shoots, core had, doing all those challenges. That was not easy, and they're under the gun to get it done. So I was really impressed.
And that was also right, I guess, toward around the time that Luke had passed, right? So even watching the cast go through it and really stay strong through the rest of the season was really amazing to see on screen.
Yeah, that was kind of, look, it's always kind of simplistic to say, but, we got to finish the show, right?
Yeah.
And
show must go on.
And I think that was kind of the impetus, and it was, KJ led the way, really, honestly.
Aww.
Really?
He's like, there's many times where, I think, I was all right, it's a wrap. Let's just take a few days here. But he powered through, and he literally led the way.
That's amazing to hear.
Yeah. And the crew has been very close to Luke, and he knew everybody. I mean, it was a team effort. I'm really proud of the show, and the writers and the actors and the crew, and
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
and how they pulled together and finished it, you know?
For sure. So if we could just ask maybe a few more detailed questions to you.
Sure.
And then just kind of go through them. So you already told us kind of how you felt about the season overall.
Yeah.
But there were a lot, like outside of a lot of the things that we needed to talk about, like, you know, the big mysteries that were solved, there were some specific Hiram Lodge things that I just wanted to cover off.
Sure.
The first one was something that we got to see, I guess, in the last couple episodes. And it was this whole steam room situation where you guys decided to shoot all these like really like very intensely you know, dialogue driven scenes in a steam room. How did that come about? Is there any insight on where that came from?
I mean, you would have to ask Berto. I don't know.
That's hilarious.
I remember reading I'm like, oh, when you go through a script, you read it and then all of a sudden you kind of read it for your lines, figure out what you're doing as well.
Right.
And I read my stuff. I'm like, whoa, steam room. Okay. That means I've got like, you know, a couple weeks or a few weeks to get ready for this. And that means just like, you know, not having like the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches every single night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I remember that was the only thing I'm like, everything else was a blur. All I knew is I had a mission. I was on a miss.
That's good.
And I was like, I'm going to at least try to look good for this.
I mean, it totally worked. Whatever you did,
this will live forever. I mean, whether it's good or it's bad, I mean, it's going to live forever. So I might as well go. I might as well like try to make it.
Oh, for sure.
You know, have some self-respect.
Yeah.
So
No, I
went for it. We had fun. I mean, the first steam room thing when I guess the sauna was when we were talking about how I knew KJ or how I knew Archie had planned my death.
Yes.
And I was like, oh. And then
I guess these are the conversations that are had.
And then the next episode, literally, they're like, all right, you are back in the steam room, and I will double down that, and I'll add you a boxing match.
Yes.
A boxing match. I was like, all right.
Which is the second thing that I wanted to talk to you about. So that was pretty much the apex of Hiram's storyline this episode or the season. And it really was, I feel like the apex of the relationship that he has with Archie.
Yeah.
Did you have any comments on that? And for one, the preparation, I'm sure, was so intense, right?
You know, I got to tell you, we rehearsed that the day before we shot it for like maybe an hour and a half.
Oh.
And the next day we changed a bunch. The stunt coordinator's awesome, and they had a bunch of stunt players there like helping us with it. But we kind of like, you know, the director's like, well, I'm looking for this. Can we change, you know, what you guys have planned into this? And we're like, yeah. And KJ's so game, you know, and we had, I gotta tell you, we had the best time shooting that scene.
It looked like that,
and sure. It went from like, you know, 10 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock at night. We would stop down for a little bit, but we were like, let's go. And we were having so much fun. So the time flew. We just wanted to get it right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We knew that it was one of those moments where like, this can either be really cool or it can suck.
Yeah. Right. The way it was shot was amazing.
It was so
like
well
the camera
done.
angles
for
and
sure.
Oh yeah. They were playing with the idea of maybe shooting it in black and white.
Ooh.
Oh, like Raging Bull style.
Yeah,
nice.
like Raging Bull, but I agree. Look, it would look good either way. Just the colors were so rich in the blood, and I'm sure it would have been all of a sudden weird for it to go black and white for a second.
That's true.
But man, did we have so much fun for that. But there wasn't a huge amount of preparation. You know, I've boxed a lot for a workout for the past 20 years, so I kind of knew that game just a little bit, and you know, I've done some fight scenes before. I always love that physicality stuff. It's really fun. But yeah, we loved that. That was really, really good. Awesome. So that and as far as the character with culmination, and it's like it kind of embodies everything that he's about, right? So if someone threatens him and threatens him in front of somebody else, it definitely struck a nerve. Like, how dare someone like challenge him in front of his homies.
Yeah.
And I mean, the line of the season was, I'll win. There's nothing soft about me.
Yeah.
I mean, I laughed so hard.
God. We did too.
And KJ, I'm like, how are we going to get through this? How are we going to get through this?
Yeah.
But it was hilarious.
Because it must be so much fun hanging out with him, because I know that you guys have like such a bromance. You guys always like to challenge each other on the side. And like this is basically, it's almost like it was like a love letter to your guys' relationship in real life, because I know that you guys always like...
Oh, that's a nice way to put it. So enjoy working with him. I really, really do. I'm so fond of KJ, and we do make fun of each other, but that means because we like the guys.
Of course.
Absolutely.
And he was just great, and we were game for it. And we it was a culmination to 2 seasons really of like wanting it to come down to this. And if you really think about it, it's kind of the first time, other than the wrestling match, that Hiram actually took matters into his own hands and didn't have someone else do his bidding.
Yeah.
Like take people out, or, throw people under the bus, or, he always had other people do it. And I mean, I think I'm kind of, personally, I like when people do things themselves. So it was fun for me. I'm like, all right, fine. He's owning this, whether it's really bizarre because he's like fighting a teenager.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's so bizarre, but in the best possible way.
Yeah.
But he's taking it into his own hands. And even at the end, it's like those lines were so telling. Like, I beat you, I'm the better man. That's kind of like, if there's mantras in Hiram's heart when he wakes up in the morning, goes to bed, or those are like the mantras. I have to win. I have to beat you. I won't beat you at any cost. So it was great. Now, Roberto and the writers always give me like the best, just diabolical, stuff. So I'm always blessed with those lines. They give me good stuff.
So speaking of being diabolical, you ended up in jail at the end of the season. But
shirtless again.
Another great shot.
Why not?
But it seems like you're still scheming. And Hiram's final line this season was, Veronica, you don't even know what's coming, mija. What is coming? Do you have any inkling?
What's Daddy up to?
I have no idea.
I have
clue. No clue. I have no clue. I'm sure it's going to be diabolical. I'm sure it's going to be great.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I don't know if I'm going to spend a lot of time in the prison, or what the plan is for that. I wouldn't mind, being like in some prison gear for a while. That'd be kind of cool.
Comfortable.
A little less restrictive
clothing
than just being in suits.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I have no ideas what their plans are for that story. But I thought it was hilarious.
It is kind of cool that they're bringing him back into jail, because we didn't get to see him in season 1, but we knew that he was in jail.
There. Yeah.
So seeing him back in his kind of like jail environment,
and he owns the prison.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that all works.
And that's in that scene between Veronica and Hiram in the jail cell. Well, I don't think I was breathing because I was holding my breath, and I was trying to flex the whole time I was doing that
scene. Your finger muscles were showing on screen. We could see them. That close-up shot.
Dude, please. I was talking to the DP, Ron. I was like, Ron, please protect me here. You got to let me know if anything looks weird. He's like, I got you.
That's great.
But that's kind of the relationship. I win, and so she is willing to, do whatever to her dad. So obviously he deserves a lot of what she's throwing at him. But again, it's her father, but she has no qualms in going and winning at any cost as well. Of course. I mean, she wants to win. So I still say this, from the beginning, they're very, very much alike.
Yeah, for sure.
Very, very much alike.
I kind of love, and I do kind of love that. I'm starting to really enjoy the fact that, it is a dysfunctional relationship. Don't get me wrong, between a father and a daughter, but the fact that they are so similar, and the fact that she is able to step herself forward and try to take on her own dad, it doesn't really have anything to do with, I want my dad out of this picture and I want him gone forever. It's more like, let me teach him a lesson, because he needs to know that he's dealing with someone who can deal with him too, Yeah. Is that kind of where you guys go with it too?
Yeah, no, I think it's like you said, it's a super dysfunctional relationship and super complex, and she's caught between both parents. I mean, and it's an impossible place to be. I think on some level she knows she's like her father, and on some level she sides with her mother as well, being two women and like being treated fairly and equally, and you know what I mean. And she definitely overlooks a couple, few of our flaws. I mean, she definitely has overlooked Hiram's flaws, and she overlooked Hermione's flaws. Sure. And he tried to kill me.
Yeah. We didn't forget.
I'm like, yo,
yeah.
Kill me twice.
And that was the funny thing, because I think at one point, like the scene that you have at the end of the episode is the guard saying, we planted the evidence that we needed to plant. I'm like, I don't think you need to plant any evidence. like she did. She literally tried to kill you.
Yeah. And she killed Minetta.
Exactly.
And she killed Minetta. Yeah.
Damn.
So some serious.
But speaking of the family, we do want to ask you, where do you see, or what do you want to see for Hiram and Hermione as like a couple in season 4?
Oh,
do you see them together?
Well, we've definitely explored the distrust and like the, kind of like just
betrayal,
keeping appearances. When he came back, there was a lot of just like keeping appearances,
right?
Mm-hmm.
And I could tell in the writing and just the way they were behaving. It's like, he knew that she cheated on him while he was in prison.
Yeah.
It's like, that's, and he's a proud guy, so he'll never ever forget that or forgive that. And that's just plain and simple. It doesn't matter what he did. Right. He's like a Latino man. That's how they're built.
That doesn't fly. Yeah.
That's dead to me dead.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. There was that as far as, like that was the overlying relationship with them both. It's like he was like, everything he was saying to her, even though it was nice, he was like, he didn't trust her. He knew he couldn't trust her. He was using her to, do what he needed to get done.
Right.
And so was she.
Yeah.
It's true.
And so was she.
That's true.
Is there still love there somewhere?
Yeah, I know, but we've just to your question, I feel like we've explored the dissolution of a marriage and, two people, two people being in a loveless marriage and all that stuff. So the only other way to go with that is to continue that, but I think we've done that. But maybe, I don't know, maybe they figure something out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Can see that.
Maybe they go back and they figure something out. I smell a flashback.
Oh my God.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
That'd be good. That. And I would just love to, I'm saying that because I would just love to have Michael.
I was just going to say, we have to have Michael back. That's why.
That's true.
I
mean, you do see them in the flashback episode, and they seemed pretty good.
They were tight. They were good.
She bought into young Hiram, and she was down for that lifestyle. So she obviously, made the choice to fall in love with him too.
Yeah. I mean, there was literally no gun to anybody's head until later.
Right.
Yeah.
Until you guys got into your 30s. Yeah. And then it was over.
Yeah.
But I love Marisol, and I would be totally cool if they wanted to revisit. I don't know. Who knows? Very early on, I just kind of trust the process. I have
for sure
very little input in what happens, and that's the way it probably should be in my case. You know what I'm saying? Like they've created, Roberto has created, and the writers have created such a beautiful show with these crazy stories that seem to work and connect and weave, and so I kind of I'm along for the ride.
Yeah,
and
so are we.
I think that's like the best. That's the best way that I feel like I can approach it. And
I guess to that point, like where, like outside of him being in jail, what's your perfect situation for Hiram? Kind of in season 4, obviously, but kind of in the long run, because he is a long-standing character in the comic books. He becomes this kind of frustrated father for Veronica on a constant, and he always tries to kind of dash Archie's plans, but do you see that developing even further, or what is your ideal situation for Hiram?
No, I don't know. I really haven't thought about it too much. I know we've done like the villain stuff I've been given has been so great.
Yeah.
I mean, we've done that. We could continue that in the jail, and it could be like really hardcore, like like dark Oz stuff, or I don't know, maybe the other way. The only thing we haven't done is we kind of did it when he got shot, is to see when we saw him slightly vulnerable.
Yes, I want to see more of that for sure.
Yeah, I like that. Maybe I would love to do that. I don't know. Whatever. They'll figure it out.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's true.
But as far as if you're asking me, that'd be cool if we explored that. The loss of everything, literally loses everything, and maybe he has to make a choice for Hermione to get out of jail, and he has to take the rap or something. He's like, all right, fine. Look, I deserved it. I'll do it for the family. You need it. Maybe it's because she needs. I'm spitballing here. Maybe she needs to be with Veronica. So it's either she gets out or I get out, and I can't get out. So I fall on the grenade for her. I definitely don't know. I'm literally making it up as I'm going on here. But then, maybe to like some type of redemption, because I feel like when they do redeem him a little bit, when he shook on it with Archie in the beginning, you know what I mean? It was like, wow, okay, cool. This is that. I love that.
Yeah.
When they were kind of like bonded together and he was looking out for him slightly. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of ways to go.
That's really exciting. Yeah, there definitely is a lot to do with the character, and I think that's a great place to be as the actor for the character, is the endless possibilities to explore different storylines. But we're super excited for next season. This season finale definitely brought us back to a place good. Where we had a lot of different feelings for wanting to get back to the roots of what we fell in love with Riverdale in the beginning was, and a lot of the roots were from how season 1 felt, and it was a feeling of this campiness, but at the same time the darkness was always overarching, and it never felt too extreme or too intense or too unbelievable. This season definitely threw us to a different world. It felt like, in Riverdale, and it definitely made us feel like, what is this, twig monster going after everybody, and what, there were so many elements that they threw in, and it was a huge undertaking, I'm sure, for the writer room to make sure everything made sense at the end of it all. And I'm sure it kind of just continued to develop as things went on, but we're so excited for season 4.
Sure.
Yeah. I love that Hal came back in the end and Chick came back. Yeah, that scene. Oh my God. I mean, between
Betty and Hal. That was my favorite scene. That was crazy. No, they did a really good job. Yeah. For sure. I'm so happy with it.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks, Mark.
Listen, have a great summer.
You too.
I'll see you on the other side.
Yeah, for sure.
And continued success,
Thanks
guys.
Thanks
so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for checking out this very special episode. And now, a shout out to all of our patrons. Our Rewinder squad, White and Wesley. Our Lit Rewinders, Tina Ann, Sarge, Serena, Kate, and Soleil. And our Mommy Rewinders, Becca, Sarah, and Tamala.
And if you would like to join our Patreon family, check us out at patreon.com/recap_rewind. If you join, you'll get access to all things Recap Rewind, exclusive content, and updates.
And also be sure you guys are checking us out on all of our socials, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. And you can find us on Google Podcasts, Spotify, iTunes. If you're listening to it on a podcast, make sure you guys are liking, subscribing, following, reviewing, and commenting to stay engaged with us at Recap Rewind. Thanks for listening. Bye.